Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew Corey, and welcome to this Google Hangout. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about databases. Have you ever needed a better way to store information? Well, I'm here to tell you that databases is by far the best way to store large quantities of information because it'll help you understand it better. So, a database is something that allows for more efficient and easier finding of information. And here are a preview of the main things I'm going to be talking to you about today. I'm going to be telling you what a database is, the two types of databases, which are SQL and NoSQL, and then, of course, the advantages and disadvantages of database. Okay, so a definition of what database systems are. They are they organize collections of data information, so that way it's easier for you to understand it, and then it's going to support you finding the information because, like I said, it'll make it easier for you to understand what the information means. Okay, so the DBMS is the Database Management System. That's what it stands for, and it organizes. It is what actually organizes the information to understand it easier. It provides various functions that allow entry, retrieval, and storage of large quantities. So that way you can store your info and that way you can retrieve it whenever you want. Why is DBMS used? It is used because it helps support internal operations of businesses, and it also lays the foundation of online transactions. So it basically helps run the entire business just through a little database. So, for example, a library system, the DBMS keeps inventory. It tells who checked out the book, when they checked it out, when it needs to be returned, how many books are left, how many books of that book are left, and how many more can check it out. Things like that. Basically, runs the whole system. All right, SQL. It is one of the two types of databases. There are two. The other one is NoSQL. SQL is used to communicate with the database. Um, is a little bit simpler than NoSQL though. So what is the communication for? It updates or retrieves the info, so it'll update the software, or you can use SQL to go and retrieve the information that you need. With SQL, the communication is pretty simple. It makes operations that you are trying to use for the database pretty easy. How does it communicate? It'll use select, insert, update, delete, create, and drop. Those are the main words that it'll use. Um, Sometimes the database will have additional communication words that it'll use, but that'll be on its own. It'll be their own words. And pretty much those are pretty hard to include in a no or in an SQL database. So is SQL popular? Well, most of the today's databases are using SQL because it is easier to communicate. It makes for less, you don't have to jump through hoops to get the information. The words are pretty easy to understand, and it's just easier for more basic knowledge people. It's easier for people with more basic knowledge of databases. So the other one, NoSQL, it has a wide range of technologies and architectures. It is a little more complex, but it does get the job done the same way that SQL gets the job done. It might just be a little bit more hard to understand. One thing it does not use that SQL uses is that it does not use fixed tables. What is its job? Well, its job is to solve the scalability and big data performances. Um, It basically just puts in a more simpler terms what everything means. So when is it useful? It's generally useful when there's a lot of information to store. Since NoSQL is a little more complex, it handles big data better than SQL does. It's able to organize more data more efficiently and easier than SQL does. So what does it not use? It does not use standard query language, and it does not use relational functionality. So for example, what I mean by that is it does not use fixed tables and does not use joint operations. So advantages to the database. So using databases keeps your information obviously more organized, as I've been saying. And the other advantage to it is that it keeps your information more secure. If you're using a database, all your data gets stored into one spot, and it makes it hard for outsiders to access it because it is not online. So a couple disadvantages to databases is the cost. If you use a database, it will cost more, but it is definitely worth it because it saves you time trying to understand what all your information means, where all your information goes. It just saves you more time, but it will come with some cost. Another thing that another disadvantage that it comes with is training. Um, you will have to train your employees to learn how to use a database, but once they get it, it won't be that bad. And so review the main points. So I told you what it is. I told you the two types of database systems, SQL, NoSQL. And I told you some advantages and disadvantages. And in conclusion, database is a good way to organize data. It is definitely worth the cost and the time.